Ancient Egypt is one of the most fascinating and enduring civilizations in human history, flourishing for over 3,000 years along the banks of the Nile. When we think of ancient Egypt, we typically envision pyramids, pharaohs, and the mysticism of their religion. However, the daily life of the ancient Egyptians, filled with details and complexities, reveals much more about who they were and how they built such an advanced civilization. Egyptian society was highly hierarchical, with the pharaoh at the top, considered a living god. Below him, the nobility, priests, and scribes played important roles in the administration of the empire. Interestingly, scribes, who were responsible for recording all official activities, had a nearly privileged status. They were some of the few who could read and write. Despite the rigid structure, there was some social mobility. A talented commoner could rise socially through education or military service. An example is the famous Imhotep, an architect and physician who started life as a commoner, but became a vizier and was even deified after his death. The Nile, with its annual floods, was the heart of life in Egypt. Its regular inundations fertilized the surrounding lands, creating ideal conditions for agriculture. Interestingly, the Egyptians divided the year into 3 seasons: Akhet, flooding; Peret, sowing; and Shimu, harvesting. Farmers used advanced methods for the time, such as irrigation channels and the construction of dikes, to control water and ensure abundant harvests. The main crop was wheat, which was ground to make bread, but barley was also common in use to make beer, consumed by all social levels. The diet of the Egyptians varied according to their social position. Peasants ate bread, onions, and fish, while the rich enjoyed meat, wine, exotic fruits, and vegetables. Curiously, Egyptian bread often contained fragments of sand, which wore down teeth over time, leading to a high incidence of dental problems. Additionally, they valued honey, which was considered a valuable commodity. Bees were domesticated and honey was used as a sweetener, medicine, and even as offerings to the gods. Fish, although abundant, was considered impure by priests, and thus avoided in religious meals. Although pyramids are the most well-known architectural legacy of Egypt, daily life revolved around mud brick dwellings. Houses were modest, usually with 1 or 2 floors and small inner courtyards. The simplicity of homes contrasted sharply with grand temples and palaces. Interestingly, in urban areas, some houses had flat roofs where families could sleep during hot nights. Contrary to popular belief, the pyramids were not built by slaves, but by paid workers who lived in temporary cities near construction sites. Recent excavations have revealed that these workers received generous rations of food and drink as payment. The desert's heat influenced lifestyle and clothing in Egypt. Egyptians dressed lightly in linen clothing. Men wore short skirts called shendid, while women generally wore long, tight-fitting tunics. However, fashion was not just functional. Egyptians had a great appreciation for adornments. Jewelry was worn by everyone, regardless of social class. Curiously, Egyptians shaved their heads to protect against heat and lice, and both men and women wore wigs, which varied in quality based on a person's wealth. Makeup was also common, especially kohl, a type of black eyeliner that not only enhanced the eyes but also protected against the sun's glare. Gods were central to Egyptian life, with deities for everything like Ra, sun; Hapi, Nile; and Osiris, underworld. Religion was tied to daily life, and temples were hubs for worship and economy. Their legacy beyond monuments reveals a society deeply connected to nature, faith, and community. Want to explore more fascinating historical events? Subscribe to our channel and never miss out on the most intriguing stories from history. Hit the bell icon to get notified of our latest videos.